Shalom, shalom, family. This is Grammy Yah. Did someone say tacos? Yes, guess what? Grammy is getting ready to can tacos. Yes, actually, I'm getting ready to can some ground beef with the taco seasoning. Let me show you my loaf of ground beef that I have, you guys. Voila! This is 10 pounds, you guys. I'm going to can ground beef, all 10 pounds of it, and probably about half of it, or maybe 3/4 of it, I'm going to make taco meat, and the other 1/4, I'm just going to do just straight ground beef and a little salt, because I may want to do something else with it and not just have all taco. Okay, so I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna bust this open, and I'm gonna bring you back when I have it in the pan, so because I have to cook it first. Okay, I'll bring you back. All right, fam, I bust open my 10 pounds of ground beef. I've already started to cook some, and I'm gonna add some more in there. And the reason why I'm using a pot, because I can get more in here and I can get it cooked faster. So what I'm going to do is, once I get this whole roll cooked, I'm going to bring you back so you can see what the ground beef looks like, okay? All right, fam, y'all know this is my first time ever canning ground beef. Okay, now, you see my bowl? I got all my ground beef cooked, you guys. No pink. No pink for me, okay? And so what I'm going to do is, I have no idea the measurements, so I'm going to start off with a cup of taco seasoning first, because I don't want to get it too spicy, but just enough. So I have a cup. I'm going to pour in my cup, stir it up, and I'm going to see what it's going to give me. So once I get this all stirred up, you guys, I'll let you know if I need any more. But right now, it's looking like that cup might be enough. I'm going to taste it and just make sure that that cup is good, because this is taco seasoning. But you know, you can add, if you really want to get fancy with it, you can cut up you some onions and some green peppers, and you can add it in this mixture. Yes. And what I'm going to do is, I got my jars already. They nice and clean, you guys. But what I'm going to do is, instead of, I've been all on YouTube, and it didn't, I couldn't grasp the idea of adding water. A lot of people were adding water to their jars with their ground beef. To me, it just didn't make sense. So what I did, because it's beef, and then you add water, it's kind of like going to dilute it. So what I did was, I went out and bought some beef broth. And you can get this from the Dollar Tree for $1.25. So I'm going to fill my jars up with the beef broth, you guys. But you can do whatever you want to do. You can do the water, or you can do some type of broth. But to me, it just seemed like water would take away from it. So let me get this all stirred up and taste it, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, fam. So I wound up using 2.5 cups of the taco seasoning. And I got this from Sam's Club. And I also got the tube of ground beef at Sam's Club as well. And it cost me $38.93 for a 10-pound tube. Okay, so like I said, having my jars all clean, I am working with pint-sized jars today to can this taco meat, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, hope you can see that. I'm gonna start to add my taco meat into my jars. And I'm spilling already. It never fails. But yeah, so just get that meat down in there. And then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna push it down lightly. I'm using my debubbler. You gotta use whatever you got, right? So yeah, I'm pushing the ground beef down in there. I'm really not packing it, but I'm just pushing it down in there lightly, okay? And I'm going to bring it up to about the 1-inch head space. Here we go. And now I am going to add my beef broth. Let me move this out of the way because I don't think y'all can be able to see it. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to add my beef broth up to the 1-inch head space as well. Okay. And I'm going to go in here and debubble to make sure that this broth gets in between all of that ground beef. That's why I didn't want to pack it, because it'd be hard for that beef broth to get in between packed meat, okay? And so since I am debubbling it, I have all the juice in there. Now, you see, I'm not even at 1-inch head space. So I'm going to add some more beef broth to the 1-inch head space. And I'm just going to work it around. Just work it around. This should be delicious. Okay? That's perfect. So I'm going to do another one real quick. Got my jar. Got my funnel. Got my meat. And my ground beef has cooled off, you guys. And so everything is room temperature. My beef broth is room temperature. My ground beef is room temperature. And when I put the water in my canner, my canning water is going to be room temperature as well, okay? So just gently pat that down. I have 12 jars over here. I'm hoping that I can get these 12 jars filled. I'm hoping I don't have to pull out any more jars. So I'll pour in my beef broth. And go in here and debubble. Whenever you're working with liquids, you always have to debubble. Okay? That's good. Yeah. So, and it smells so delicious, you guys. You guys know what tacos smell like. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so delicious. So, you know, whenever you come home from work and you don't know what to cook, you can just open up you a jar of this taco meat and just make you some tacos. Real easy. If you have children, your children probably could make their own tacos if they're waiting for mommy or grandma to come home from work. Be like, Mom, I'm hungry. And you're like, go on there and pop up a jar of that taco seasoning. Okay? That taco meat. And there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I have to clean off my rims, you guys. So always, I use vinegar. No matter what, I use vinegar. Because vinegar is going to cut the grease. I got the seasonings. And I'm just going to go around and make sure that there is nothing on my rims. Because guess what? Your jars were not sealed. So make sure that it is very, very clean. And you know, ground beef is greasy, so I'm taking extra precaution because I don't want to do all this work and then they don't seal. Okay? Sometimes, I gotta be totally honest, sometimes I do want one to not seal because I want to taste it to see what it tastes like. So it's been debubbled, wiped clean with vinegar, put my top on, fingertip tight. That's all you have to do. Now, doesn't that look delicious? Yes. So I'm gonna get in here, I'm gonna finish filling my jars, and I bring you back when it's time for them to go in the canner, okay? I have all my jars filled. Isn't that beautiful? That is so beautiful. And I'm placing them in my canner. I'm working with a 23-quart canner. My water is room temperature. My jars are room temperature. The ground beef was room temperature. And I'm just loading up my canner. And with a 23-quart, you have a water line down there, so it's no mistaking how much to put the water in, okay? So I've already added 8 jars, and with a 23-quart canner, you can add more than 8 jars. You just have to have this divider. So I put my divider in, and I have 5 more. Okay, so that 10 pounds of ground beef gave me 13 pint jars. Okay, so now I have my canner all loaded up. My leftover vinegar, I pour it in my canner because that's going to keep your jars from being cloudy. Oh, and before I go, I just want to let you guys know that I use the mild taco seasoning. So I was able to do 2.5 quarts. But anything higher than the mild, I think you may need to taste it as you pour. Okay? Because my taste buds is not like your taste buds. So now I have my canner loaded. Make sure it's in the middle of my eye. Now I'm just going to put my top on. And that's going to lock it. And I'm going to turn my heat on high. It's on high. And now I'm just going to wait until this vent pipe right here. When this vent pipe right here starts shooting steam for 10 minutes, I'm going to bring you back. This vent pipe's been shooting steam steady for 10 minutes. I'm going to put my weight regulator on it. Now that my weight regulator is on, the button popped out. Now I have to wait until it comes up to 10, you guys. 10 is my altitude. 10 pounds of pressure. You want to find out what your altitude is, you can just Google it. But my altitude is 10, so I need 10 pounds of pressure. I'll bring you back once it hits 10. Okay, fam, I am at 10 pounds of pressure. I'm going to dial my heat back just a little. If it goes to 11, that's fine. I try to keep it between 10 and 11. I am working with pint-sized jars, family, and with pint-sized jars, I only need 75 minutes. And I'll bring you back once it processes after 75 minutes and come down the pressure. I'll bring you back when I am taking them out of the canner. Okay, family, now my canner has come down the pressure. My little button has dropped. Now it's time to take it out. So now I just take off my weight regulator and I'm getting ready to take off my lid. Always when you're removing the lid, always remove the lid away from you, family, because there is a lot of steam in here and you don't want that steam to burn your face. So always away from you. So what I usually do is first I unlock it. I let that steam out and let it back down because that's a lot of steam. Oh, that smells so delicious. Okay, this time I'm getting ready to take it off and take it to the sink. Oh yes, it smells so delicious. Let's see what we have. Look at that. Look at that. Tacos, you guys. Ready-made taco meat. So simple. Okay, family, I've taken out all 13 of them, and I pray that they seal, okay? But I just want to let you know that you can do it. You can. Yes, you can. And it's so simple. Just follow the instructions. Like I said, I was once you, and I was so afraid of this thing right here, okay? But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I just want to thank you guys for watching and sharing and subscribing. And if you haven't, please do so. And I just want to tell you guys that I love you guys and I appreciate each and every one of you. And I also want to send a shout out to all the One Nation, One Power brothers and sisters that support me as well. I love you guys. I love all of you guys. But guess what? I love the Most High more. Shalom.